Welcome to another movie recap. Today we're diving into the Platform 2, a vertical nightmare where the food falls fast, the morals fall faster, and your cellmate might be on fire by lunch. Buckle in. The movie opens with a cheerful montage of future inmates picking their one meal for the foreseeable hell ahead. One guy declares if he doesn't get his pizza, he'll lose it. Cut to that same guy on level 24 of the vertical hellscape. 333 floors of misery, each one with two prisoners and a big hole in the middle where the food drops down on a platform like a cruel culinary elevator. He is clutching a half-mangled pizza slice. He's pissed, obviously. He throws the sad excuse for pizza and snags a chicken wing off the platform, ready to feast. But wait. A man and a woman from the level above lean over the edge and introduce the system. One of them, Robespierre, is a loyalist. These guys believe in fair food distribution and moral superiority. Robespierre starts explaining the sacred code of the loyalists. Eat only your chosen meal, or trade like a polite citizen. Anything else? You're a barbarian. A filthy, sauce-covered barbarian. Robespierre, the loyalist from above, won't shut up, yapping away while big guy clutches his wing like a lifeline, clearly wishing he could shove Robespierre down the hole. Then Brempoin, the woman from his floor, offers him a peace treaty in the form of untouched croquettes. He's suspicious but hungry, so he takes it. Before the platform descends to feed the hyenas below, the loyalists deliver one final nugget of unsolicited wisdom to our guy Zamiatin. He should eat only when the platform is there. And to be grateful he is on level 24. Next month, he might be down where people eat feet. Now we flash back to Brempoint's interview before entering the prison. She is clearly carrying some heavy emotional baggage. She's here because she's done something. We don't know what, but she says she needs time. Spoiler, she's about to get a lot of time, and absolutely none of it will be therapeutic. Meanwhile, on level 44, something shady is going down, communication cuts out, and the loyalists lose contact. No one knows if the food is still going down. Cut back to Zamiatin's interview. He casually drops that he tried to burn his parents alive in their sleep, and he is there because they were scared of him. Which, now we are too. Fast forward to level 21, where tensions finally explode. Turns out, telling starving people to only eat one dish each day wasn't a sustainable idea. Who knew? A full-on food riot breaks out. Bodies and chaos rain down on the platform like some sick horror show. The fight triggers a cascade of chaos that spills downward. Back on level 24, Robespierre tells Zamiatin and Brempoint to brace for impact. Brempoint and Zamiatin are going to have to fight when the platform hits their floor. The carnage on level 21 is so brutal that food spills and bodies smash into the platform above. Robespierre's cellmate ends up torched in the chaos because of the spilled food on their floor she couldn't get rid of. Her flaming corpse falling on top of the platform. Zamiatin freezes. Robespierre and Brempoint, though, they're ready. They fight to hold their level. Croquettes flying, chicken bones snapping. Once the smoke clears, the barbarian from level 21 is knocked down and tied up on Brempoint and Zamiatin's level. The flaming lady is dead, and Robespierre's got thoughts. He declares that no one will eat today, but it's for the greater good. Zamiatin fires back with savage mockery, pointing out the hypocrisy. You couldn't even spare me a chicken wing the other day, but ruining all the food because of your so-called greater good is just fine? And then, as if Robespierre wasn't already deep in the Kool-Aid, he starts talking about the Messiah. Apparently, there's a legendary figure who once survived an entire month without food by meditating. This guy eventually cut off his own leg to feed the starving masses. His followers? The anointed ones. Their mission? Spread the gospel of the loyalist law. Robespierre is giving a full-blown TED Talk on self-sacrifice and food ethics, while Brempoint listens like she's hearing the voice of God. Zamiatin? He's over it. He just wants his damn pizza. So Zamiatin asks him if he's going to feed the anointed ones with cellmate barbecue over there. Robespierre says that cannibalism is forbidden. A new day, a new rule. Then he pushes the burnt body down the hole. The next morning, something shocking happens. Zamiatin's pizza? perfectly intact, like it just rolled out of Naples' brick oven and down 24 floors of despair. Even Robespierre and Berempoin get their food. Why? Because they tied up the barbarian from level 21 and no one's dead on the meatloaf. It's a miracle. Or at least it was, because Robespierre suddenly starts chucking untouched food into the toilet. Zamiatin and Berempoin are understandably horrified. But Robespierre, now fully ordained in the Church of Self-Righteousness, declares that this food belonged to the dead cellmates. And if the dead can't eat, no one should. It's the law. Then he straps the bound barbarian onto the platform like a human Amazon delivery and tells them he's going down to find the anointed ones and deliver the barbarian for punishment. Before disappearing into the abyss, he reminds them to follow and enforce the law. And so they do. We get a montage of misery. Berempoin starts tossing meals into the toilet with solemnity. Zamiatin? Well, he eats some of it first, then throws it away, because he's technically following the rules, just with a little nibble of rebellion. Days pass. Zamiatin and Berempoin start bonding. They begin sharing food, stories, regrets. Berempoin reveals that she checked herself into this dystopian olive garden on purpose, because she accidentally caused the death of her then-boyfriend's son. A tragic accident, one she can't forgive herself for. So now she's here, eating croquettes, trying to do penance. Zamiatin, meanwhile, used to be a mathematician with a mind like a calculator and a soul like a blunt knife. He gave up, left everything, and moved back in with his parents. And now, these two lost souls are trapped in a concrete stomach with a hole in the middle. New month, new nightmare. Zamiatin and Berempoin wake up on level 180. The people above and below hope the law has been upheld. Spoiler, it hasn't. Because when the platform finally slides into view, it's stripped clean. Not a crumb, not even a soggy pea. Nobody eats. Zamiatin starts coughing, sweating, barfing blood. Berempoin's desperately playing nursemaid, because someone's got to keep this mess alive. And just when you think things can't get worse, a head falls from the sky. Turns out, the anointed ones are on a beheading spree, and heads will roll, literally. Word trickles down that the barbarians on level 169 are blocking communication. The anointed are coming for them next, and they're also hunting anyone who ate food from the dead mates. That includes our boy Zamiatin. But thankfully, no one knows it's him, except Berempoin. A woman on the floor above casually mentions the man they're hunting was on level 24 the previous month. And Berempoin, she lies, telling her they were on a different floor. Berempoin warns Zamiatin that when the anointed ones come, they'll pretend to behave. But once the cult caravan leaves, they will do whatever it takes to survive. Zamiatin, delirious and broken, just hopes for a quick death. Can you blame him? Cut back to the rest of Zamiatin's interview. The interviewer cuts through the crap. He tells him that he is not here because his parents are scared of him. He is here because he screwed up every part of his life, and his parents decided he needed discipline. That's out of sting. Then, in a final, desperate act of self-sacrifice to shield Berempoin from punishment for hiding him, a feverish, sick-as-hell Zamiatin sets himself on fire and leaps into the pit below. Because if you're going down, might as well go out blazing, literally. Then Berempoin wakes up on level 51 with a new cellmate, a woman named Sahabat who is missing an arm. Word from above and below is oddly reassuring. No barbarians nearby, and everyone should have their meals intact. Berempoin's heart is heavy, still grieving Zamiatin's tragic exit. She explains the brutal rules to Sahabat, how the platform works, how the law is sacred. Sahabat's meal? Plums. Just plums. The platform arrives, but surprise, not everyone followed the rules. Berempoin's croquettes are devoured. Sahabat plums are mangled. Berempoin coldly tells her that she will eat tomorrow. News trickles down. Barbarians are stirring up trouble on the 54th floor. The folks below spill that the same guy who's causing havoc used to be on level 2 last month, and apparently he ate like a pig. Berempoin's blood boils. She wants to storm that floor and beat some barbarian ass. But the guys warn her off. The law of 4 says only the 4 closest people can intervene. She's too far away. Someone else will handle it. Barimpuan tells Sahabat that her mate died because of people like that. The higher you are, the more responsibility you have to protect the law. Sahabat listens wide-eyed. She understands the rage. The next day, the platform arrives with their food intact. Sahabat grabs a bar from her bed, hands one to Barimpuan, and leaps on the platform, hell-bent on enforcing the law and avenging Zamiatin. Barimpuan joins her without hesitation. When they reach the lower level, loyalists grumble that this is against the law, but she convinces one of them to join. When they reach the barbarian's level, chaos erupts. The barbarian, armed with broken glass shards, fights like a cornered beast. He slashes and kills a man and an old woman before throwing himself onto the platform. Sahabat leaps on him. Barimpuan follows. The fight descends to the next level, where an old man tries to choke the barbarian but gets stabbed too. It's carnage. Barimpuan's holding Sahabat, who's bleeding badly. She finally turns on the barbarian, ready to end him. But he begs her to spare him, that he didn't do anything wrong. He just ate to recover. Barimpuan hesitates and lets him go. Then Barimpuan learns Sahabat isn't a newbie. She's been trapped here for 6 months. Sahabat explains that the law only protects the meal you chose. She and her cellmate followed and enforced the law from day one. But when a starving young man dropped onto their floor, she and her cellmate broke the law to feed him with food from the already dead mates. Enter Dagon Bobby, the cruelest, most brutal anointed one. He isn't just killing barbarians. He's punishing loyalists for the tiniest infractions. He gouged the starving man's eyes out, cut off Saat's arm, and tied her cellmate naked to the platform, leaving her to be devoured alive by prisoners below. Sahabat says the pit is never safe. Not for anyone. No one gets out alive. Not unless they escape. There's only one way, and it comes once a month. During the interval, the moment when they gas everyone, knock them out, and shuffle the bodies like cards. That's when they have to act. Stay awake and go down, through the heart of the pit, through hell, and maybe beyond. Just then, they see a man is being eviscerated on level 46. Sahabat says that this is Dagon Bobby's signature. He's coming down, and they need to escape right now. Her plan? Fake their deaths by eating parts of a painting located on level 92. The charcoal in the painting will keep them awake during the gas attack. Then, they'll be tossed outside the facility like garbage, and maybe they'll actually escape this nightmare. But there's no time, and Dagon Bobby and his gang of grim-faced disciples arrive to punish the lawbreakers. The offense? Breaking the law of 4. The rule that only the 4 closest to the barbarian may intervene to keep the prison's chain of communication from snapping. Dagon lines up the offenders like cattle. 1 offense, lose an arm. 2 offenses, lose a life. Barimpuan, first offense, her arm is on the chopping block. Sahabat, 2 offenses, it's over for her. They drag Barimpuan's arm beneath the steel track of the platform, and when it descends, it leaves behind a mangled limb. Sahabat is stripped, tied naked to the platform, a living offering to the mouths below. The next month, Barimpuan wakes on level 72, blood crusted over the stump where her arm used to be, her face hard now. She finds herself staring at Trimagasi, a wiry old man. She eyes him up. He doesn't say much. Good. She tells him not to talk to anyone above or below. The chain of communication ends here. Barimpuan has no illusions left. She's done being a loyalist. Her plan is to recruit the barbarians, the same savages she once judged and condemned. But she's not gathering an army to uphold some noble cause. She's assembling a chaotic mob to mask her real mission, find the painting and fake her death. So she rides the platform again, not as a preacher or enforcer, but as a flame. She talks to the hungry, the wild, the ones with fire behind their eyes and no appetite for sermons. And they follow her. Down they go, platform by platform, howling and singing. They gorge themselves on stolen meals. It's messy, glorious, and unsustainable. Barimpuan orders the crew to get off at the 92nd level and wait. She's got one goal: find the painting she must eat to escape this nightmare. Everyone's sharpening whatever weapons they can find, waiting for the anointed ones to come down and bring the holy smackdown. Meanwhile, the anointed ones prepare as well, gathering on the platform with their own arsenal of weapons. Dagon Bobby himself is among them. He steps off the platform one level above the barbarians, but doesn't charge into battle. Instead, he announces the death sentence for everyone below the 91st level, starvation. Food will be cut off completely. A sentence he claims is just and necessary to maintain the order. Dagon offers a choice to the barbarians: surrender, and only the leaders will face punishment. The offer splinters the group, and some scatter, abandoning the fight. But Trimagasi proposes a brutal counterattack. They will descend through the levels, hunting Dagon's loyalists and barbecuing them. The barbarians roar their approval and set off into the darkness below. We cut to the rest of Birimpuan's interview. She's a sculptor who finally got her big break with a gallery show. Her boyfriend brought his kid along, but the kid went full demolition derby, crashing into one of her sculptures. Sharp blade from her work pierced the kid's eye. Birimpuan blames herself for skipping the put up a safety perimeter memo. Ironically, that tragedy launched her career. Her gruesome sculptures became hot commodities, selling for millions. Fame through bloodshed. Meanwhile, down in the pit, the barbarians are throwing what looks like a prehistoric cookout gone berserk. And the loyalists are the main course. Everyone's feeding each other like a bunch of deranged cavemen, singing and dancing like they just rediscovered fire. Birimpuan is starving, gaunt as a ghost, hallucinating. Then chaos erupts between the barbarians and the loyalists. A full-on, gore-soaked brawl where everyone hacks and slashes. In the end, only Birimpuan, Trimagasi, and Dagon are left standing. Dagon, bleeding and begging for a quick death, but Birimpuan has a far darker plan. She'll nurse his wounds, and then, piece by piece, feed him his own flesh until he's worthy of his master. Dagon's final words? She's already damned them all. That night, Birimpuan pushes Dagon down the endless pit. Trimagasi, surprisingly philosophical, declares this the best month of his life. He tells her they're all prisoners, not just of this pit, but of themselves, and there is no escape from that. At last, Birimpuan eats a portion of the painting, starts puking, and passes out. Cut to some kids playing on a grim stone playground somewhere deep below, where a kid lands on top. Two adults arrive. The woman whispers something in the child's ear and takes him away into the shadows. Birimpuan wakes, bundled among corpses waiting to be disposed of. Gravity is suspended as masked workers in gas masks glide through the prison, resetting it. Everything floats eerily. Blood pools upward, a sickened version of reality. On level 333, Birimpuan manages to hide from the workers. Then she spots the child, lying on one of the beds, innocent and exposed in this nightmare. Her original escape plan evaporates instantly. This kid's fate suddenly becomes her cause. She snatches the boy from the bed and lays them down on the platform. It descends to a lower level. At this new level, Birimpuan encounters other prisoners, grotesque figures that resemble the walking dead. They swarm around her. One woman delivers the grim truth. Birimpuan's journey ends here. But the boy, he might still have a second chance. Persuaded, Birimpuan sends the boy back up while she remains behind. The crowd guides her off the platform, deeper into the void. Then a sudden shift. We glimpse Goreng and Trimagasi sending a girl back up, an echo from the first movie. And finally, Birimpuan reunites with Goreng, who seems to be her ex-boyfriend. And that was the platform 2, where sharing isn't caring, it's a death sentence. It's all dark, it's all brutal, and just twisted enough to make you laugh nervously while thinking, well, at least it's not my problem yet. If you made it to the bottom, smash that like button, subscribe for more cinematic traumas, and drop a comment. Would you survive the platform? Until next time,